Hey everybody, on this episode of Unglued Modeler, we're just going to do a quick little kind of how-to tutorial, how to replace some switches on your transmitter. So if you do RC long enough, you're bound to do what I did. So I dropped this on a tile floor. I broke the first rule of RC. I didn't wear my lanyard and down it went. So what happened is these top two switches broke off. I already have the case unscrewed, so the case didn't break. It's already unscrewed. But yeah, pile of parts here. That's what broke off. I got the two replacement switches, 2-position and a 3-position. Nothing special, but they are specific to the Taranis X9D.
And we got them off of?
Got them off of RDQ, Race Day Quads. I'll try to link it. So tons of places have these. I think they're like $3 or $4 each, but like I said, if you do RC long enough, you're bound to break some of these switches off. So we'll pop it open here. Here's the 2-position. There's only 2 wires to solder. Here's the 3-position switch. You got 3 wires. That's basically it, guys. Everything else looks pretty good. This one's flopping around. It's fine. I just got to put it back in there. But yeah, so let's get over to the solder station and we'll get soldering. First thing we have to do, we got to get this shrink tubing off. So pretty small stuff. So I just got a little razor knife here. It's pretty fiddly stuff. So there's one off. Just keep doing that, get them all off. Okay, so we got all the old shrink tube off. Now it's just a case of desoldering these. So we'll do one switch at a time. I'll start with the easy one. I'm gonna take the easy way out first here. So we're gonna tin our, oh, and by the way, I've got a very small tip on there. So you can see I switched out to one of the very small tips. So clean it. There's one.
Oh, comes right off.
There's 2. Okay, so that worked. All right, so we're gonna clean these up. We're gonna re-tin them. So you can see, we're just gonna kind of clean those up a little bit. And then we gotta tin the new terminals on here. You always gotta tin the, new stuff and get it ready again. Just put a little flux just on the 2 outer ones that I'm gonna do. A little glob of solder on there. We'll start over. It doesn't take much. There's a little bit on there. All right, so yeah, the 2 legs have solder on them now. So we're gonna drop that, clean these up a little bit, flux on the 2 wires. There we go. And there we go. So don't forget your shrink tube. So nothing's more frustrating when you get a really nice solder joint and you have forgotten your shrink tubing. So put those all the way down. Again, always clean the tip. So you want a nice shiny tip. I'm gonna get a little hotter here, probably 400. So we should have enough solder on there, on both terminals, to just touch the heat. So we'll go here. Okay. That one's on. And same thing here. A little fiddly. These are very small. So what we can do, we can test this too before we put the shrink wrap. And before we put the shrink wrap on there, we're just gonna do a quick test.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Yep. So you can see the SF, because this is the SF switch. So watch the arrow, so it shows that it's working.
Oh, look at that.
So, all right, so it looks good. Cool. Okay, there's one switch down. Looking good. We got our new shrink tube on, all soldered up. We've confirmed it's working, and we're just gonna give it the twist back like it was to keep the wires nice and tidy inside the transmitter. And there we go. One switch done. Looking good. Let's get this one going. So blue in the middle, basically. let's just keep the blue in the middle. Really, that's all we gotta do. All right, same thing. Let's get this desoldered. Let's get our new switch. We're gonna tin the terminals. We'll dip the terminals in the flux
All
here.
3 of them.
You can see there's solder on all the terminals, looking good. Let that cool down for a second. So we'll drop it onto the mat, and we gotta do these wires. We're gonna clean up these wires a little bit. Okay, shrink tube on, everything's tinned. Let's go, clean the tip. Put a little extra, put a little on there. Let's start with an outside one here. All right, remember blue in the middle. All right, last one on the end. So those joints look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Let it cool for a second, and we're gonna slide up the shrink tube. All right, looks good there. All the shrink tube is slid up. Let's shrink it.
Welcome to OpenTX.
All right, so this is switch E. So switch E. Oh yeah, I gotta push the button to get rid of it. Okay, so switch E there. So see up there? And actually so far so good because the line means it's in the middle. There we go. Up, down, middle, everything's working.
Perfect.
Okay, so there we go. So we just replaced 2 switches because I dropped it. All right, everybody, we just wanted to show you a quick little kind of how-to tutorial on how to do some switches real quick.
It's not that difficult.
Yeah, it's just really fiddly. These are very small terminals. So just kind of make sure you have everything lined up and ready to go before you start this. But, you know, you can see it's not that hard. One of the more scarier parts of it is just getting the transmitter apart. But you really don't have to take anything apart. The switches they just slide out.
Yeah,
So-
because they're broken. At
Yeah,
that point.
but even if they're not broken, they just pop out of
Yeah.
the case. So, but yeah, that's about it, everybody. But a real easy job. Don't be afraid to take this apart and do it. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll try to do a couple tips and tricks like this every now and then. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you have any questions. Thanks.